Today, I'm going to turn Fallout 4 into a zombie apocalypse with the power of modding. All bugs and concerns about how to set these mods up are answered in the description. I'm your host Adam, and let's get into it. Just to note, feral ghouls are not zombies, just people who are horribly irradiated to the point of being driven mad. However, I will be referring to them as zombies for the remainder of this video. Beginning the zombie overhaul, we need to have some of the landscape altered to really sell the idea that there was mass panic and evacuations happening right before and during the aftermath of the bombs. Immersive and Extended Lexington by More Like Vicky not only adds a large military presence to the city and more debris, but even adds zombies hiding under cars and strewn about in areas where they normally wouldn't be in-game. Also, another locational redesign worth using is Project Apocalyptic Commonwealth, which I covered in a past video. This redesigns the outside of Vault 111, the Sanctuary Bridge, and all of Concord. Due to the recent controversies on the Nexus preventing authors from deleting their mods after August 5th because of the introduction of mod packs, many authors deleted their mods and hosted them elsewhere. This one was especially impressive and now can only be downloaded through a Discord server. A link to the Google Doc containing all the deleted mods and where to find them are in the description. The last location mod I will mention is also from More Like Vicky, called Immersive and Extended Nahant. Before, what was once a barren area is now full of life with cars packed in the streets, along with a recently crashed vertibird from the Brotherhood. Which makes sense, as when clearing Libertalia, a vertibird will sometimes show up to assist you. There are spike barriers in the streets along with a junk wall blockade. There are tents on the sides of the road, and adds a lot to this coastal part of the map. Now that we have our locations ready, we need to put some zombies in them. More Feral Ghouls, a zombie mod, gives the zombies a larger variation. I was sick of seeing every ghoul in the wasteland look like they were wearing a ratty dress when they turned. This mod aims to humanize the zombies of Fallout. Depending on the location you are visiting will determine what kind of zombies you find. If you go to the Sentinel site in the Glowing Sea, you will find a plethora of army personnel and scientists, as they were the ones occupying the building when the bombs fell. There are armored variants that have more health, and when you loot them have irradiated armor that cannot be worn but used for steel scrap. These consist of ex-raiders and presumably ex-gunners. And of course, riot police zombies, as well as all the armored military soldiers. This one might be a reference to Winslow from The Walking Dead. It also adds in zombie children and rotted skeletal zombies as well, and of course, regular civilians both pre-war and post-war. There's even a zombie baby. That's straight up fucked up. Some of these zombies also have stories behind them, like at the Boston airport. There, you can find what is left of a Brotherhood recon team that turned into the undead. You should also check out the Concord Speakeasy for a gruesome surprise. This also has to be paired with zombie walkers and the Running Dead. Zombie Walkers overhauls feral ghouls into making them more like slow Romero shamblers. They are attracted by noises, have a herd mentality, and are heavy hitting. Just like in The Walking Dead, they aren't much of a threat in small numbers. They are, however, deadly in tight spaces and large groups, as a single hit at lower levels can be deadly. Your settlements can be attacked by zombie hordes. You can be interrupted during your sleep by a zombie attack. You can replace whole groups of NPCs so they spawn zombies instead, and humans that die can turn into the undead. All of these settings are customizable through the Zombie Walker holotape that is automatically in your inventory. Some settings can ruin quest lines, so be careful of what options you choose. The Running Dead simply aims to add more zombie spawns in the game, depending on the location. Cities will have more zombies than any other place, and there are options for headshot kills only, and, like before, replacing things like raiders and creatures with zombies for a bigger apocalypse. Now, the way in which Fallout is played must be changed in order to fit the new environment we've created. This is why we're going to need a few tweaks. The biggest one of them all being Start Me Up, Alternate Start, and Dialogue Overhaul. This mod by Tiny Manticore changes how you start the game. Instead of going through the same monologue about how war never changes, and spending time in pre-war sanctuary and getting frozen on ice and chasing after your kidnapped son, you're given a prompt after leaving the character customization to wake up from this dream. From here, you can choose your unique traits, occupation, and where you were last. You can still play the main story, but instead of being a vengeful parent, you are just someone who goes to Vault 111 after hearing rumors of its existence. Here, the outsider finds a holotape of the kidnapping of a baby and the murder of 2 Vault Dwellers. After this, you go to Nick Valentine to solve the mystery, and the story continues normally. This makes it so that way you don't have to be a Vault Dweller if you don't want to. If you want to roleplay as a survivalist or a scavenger, you can do that. Want to be a raider or a Brotherhood initiate? You can do that too. Just be aware that just because you choose to start with a faction doesn't mean you are allied with them, meaning these groups will still be hostile or neutral to you. Up next is Arbitration. This mod overhauls a lot of Fallout 4's main mechanics and adds several tweaks. Some of these include reduced grenade spam, AI won't charge out of cover and instead will stay in cover when possible, Molotov cocktails burn people to death instead of acting as an explosion, NPCs will search you for longer, and decreased reload speed for the player and NPCs alike. Additionally, fall damage is tweaked so that the chances of leg damage is much higher, among many other changes. This is going to make Fallout feel much more challenging and will hopefully make you take a more cautious approach to combat rather than charging in guns blazing. Another mod to make surviving difficult is loot balance. I could go into all the nuances of this mod, but to sum it up, it basically reduces the chances of finding bobby pins, stim packs, ammo, health items, valuable junk, and so on. You are way more likely to find a medkit with nothing in it, and you should try to avoid as much damage as possible, since food and drinks don't heal as much and take longer to refill your HP. Don't worry though, as there are bandages to help make up for a lack of stim packs, which heal more HP over a greater period of time. Agony is a mod that adds a ton of new medications and health items that give you buffs in the game and changes how health works in survival mode. If you get crippled, popping a stim pack won't do the trick anymore. Now you have to perform surgery, either on yourself by finding a surgery kit or going to a doctor. Doing the first option will come with negative side effects such as blood loss, an open wound that has a chance of infection, and extreme pain. There are items like painkillers, bandages, and blood packs to help. Using more than 3 blood packs within 24 hours can cause cardiac arrest, and using them, in general, gives you a small chance of a heart attack. There are new disease medications to combat insomnia, infections, parasites, and so on. Sounds play a big role when it comes to making a person feel like they are the ones experiencing something. Whether it be a movie, narration, or a game, the way things sound is very important. Ambient wasteland makes the apocalypse feel alive. This adds in several new sounds to Fallout while exploring, and sounds are heard in places where they make sense. For instance, in swamps you'll hear frogs and insects. In the foothills, you'll hear birds and other wildlife with the occasional distant gunfight. Project Reality Footsteps is a mod that adds 10 extra footstep sounds for each type of movement and terrain. This makes it sound overall more satisfying to listen to, and as a bonus, there is a snow patch for those who want this to take place in a snowy environment. Commonwealth Warfare is another sound mod that simply makes all the gun sounds in the game sound accurate to its real-life counterparts. Here's an example. Ambience and Reverb Overhaul is a great mod that pairs well with this and all the other sound mods which I covered in a previous video. Terrifier is a sound mod that changes the sounds of the feral ghouls, or zombies in our case. They sound much more threatening than the vanilla sounds. This hopefully will add to the creepiness factor when encountering zombies. Now that we have all of our essentials, let's look at a few clothing mods to make you and your settlers look like they're going through a zombie apocalypse. I recommend Commonwealth Survivalist gear, as it includes a ton of mashups and colorations of each outfit. These all have a very rustic feel, and look like things people surviving on their own would wear. I also use Wasteland Fashion for some more clothing mashups. To add a layer of personalization of my character and companions, I use Crimson Rider's accessories, which adds in a ton of customization options. You can wear several eye patches, necklaces, weapons, headwear, bandages, bullets, knickknacks, and scarves. I personally went for a Season 5 Rick Grimes look, wearing a white shirt and leather jacket. As far as guns go, there's a long list of them. There's the Remington Model 700 to fulfill your sniper needs, Rick's Colt Python from The Walking Dead, a fully customizable Beretta, as seen in the tank in Atlanta from The Walking Dead. There's the Mossberg 500 to fill a shotgun role, although beware, it gets buggy with power armor, so you must download the patch for that. There's an M1A rifle for mid-range engagement, a Galil to fill an assault rifle role, and of course, a classic M60 to mow down hordes of the undead. I could go on, but those are some to name a few. Now, all that's left is to head out there, survive onslaughts of walking corpses, and keep your medical supplies in check. Some of you have continued to watch my other sketch comedy related videos, and I highly appreciate that. I look forward to growing as a community. Any feedback is welcome, and I would highly appreciate it if you shared or liked the video.